We're open.
Welcome into another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. My name is Jeff. That's my friend Ahmed. Today we're talking about a show that me and Ahmed love very, very much. That is The Bear on FX. All the episodes dropped on Hulu last week. It's been very mixed, though. Ahmed, what did you think?
It, it's hard to say because on the one hand, it's real slow, but whenever it does have those pieces of excitement, they really kind of strap you in. And so I think this is definitely a filler season. I'm happy either way, but I was kind of hoping for that same kind of oomph we got from seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, like I don't think this is as good as season 2. Like season 2 is one of the best seasons of TV I think we've ever gotten. Like
Yeah.
there's no forks here or you know an episode where Marcus goes to Amsterdam. You don't get that same type of feeling here. I thought Ice Chips with Jamie Lee Curtis and Abby Elliott was like one of the standout episodes, and that's maybe like one of the classics here. I love Napkins, where it focused on Tina, but like you said, Ahmed, this is sort of a filler season. This ends on a cliffhanger. It is very, very hectic, and I think they really doubled down on like celebrity cameos this season, and they kind of got away from what made this show so special in the first place, which is this cast being very much centered in a real world where you don't feel like this is, you know, uh, Bradley Cooper cameo away from going off into some weird other universe.
Yeah. No, it definitely was one of those where you had a lot of unnecessary celebrity cameos, people that kind of you wonder what purpose they serve. Like John Cena was super cool to see on screen. Um, John Cena has acting chops, but unfortunately, he picks the worst things, and he picked a great show to be a part of. It just seemed very forced. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, he's a fac. Great, it's like those fucking characters. But I liked Ice Chips. I loved seeing Jamie Lee Curtis, and of course, I love seeing Joel McHale and Oliver Pratt. I think is
Yeah.
got to be my favorite character. I thought whenever they had him as one of like the more reoccurring characters, that this was going to be a good series, and it's lived up to its potential. Cicero is an amazing character who doesn't really need any sort of character development because he's straight and to the point of what he is.
Yeah, I love Cicero. I think that Oliver Platt brings like a sort of like uncle energy, I guess you would call it here, where he is kind of shepherding in this restaurant and he wants it to go well, but like Carmy is kind of off the rails this season where he is kind of making things harder on himself than it needs to be, where he's changing the menu every single day,
Right.
and that is crazy within itself. Like you have to get fresh ingredients every day to be able to do that. And Sydney is very conflicted about her place in the Bear and
Or
what
lack
her future
thereof.
holds. Yeah, or lack thereof. Like the characters really don't get any answers to their journey this season, and that's kind of what bothered me a little bit.
I wonder if there's a reason for that. I think Carmy, it's clear from the very beginning that he's battling with a number of personal issues. He's dealing with imposter syndrome, he's dealing with PTSD from his job, he's still mourning the death of his brother, who was also somebody that he was trying to show like I could do it. And then with season 2, when he has like an ounce of happiness, he realizes, fuck, I got too comfortable, and that's what happened. I knew I shouldn't have allowed myself to get happy. And so season 3 is sort of like this slow coming together. And I think if we can look at when I reconcile it that way, season 3 is a lot more tolerable. Is it the season I'd probably watch over again? Probably not. I'd probably watch like a select full of episodes, mainly the first and the last one. But that's just because I'm a huge fan of Jeremy Allen White in the show. Um, he's done a lot of, everyone knows him from Shameless, but he was also in very like small, stupid projects like Movie 43. So if
Yeah.
you don't know, you've done yourself a favor. Um, but it's kind of like that. He's trying to figure out his journey, but it's also hard for him to take that step. And I wonder if like that last episode was him kind of going, has it all just been in my fucking head this whole time? Like whenever Claire kind of told him nobody's, because he was saying, I feel like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And Claire kind of says, nobody's really watching any shoes.
Yeah, like, all of us have probably felt imposter syndrome now and again, and Carmy's definitely uh, going through it for sure. You have this review hanging over his head pretty much the entire season, and we
Yeah.
still don't even have a clear answer of what that review said because it looks like it's from his perspective, and the words keep changing. And I did like that to where you're guessing on what this thing is going to say, and it really, you know, leaves the bait for season 4, which I'm very excited about. But I do like how they portrayed mental health here. Like, Sydney has a panic attack at the end of episode 10 just because she is so conflicted about either leaving this place where everybody she feels is like her second family or going to this new venture off with the J.J. Abrams looking dude. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I liked a lot of aspects of this season. I love Carmy. I love Sydney. If we were going to go into favorite characters, I love John Bernthal back.
Yeah.
Uh, that was a really great episode with Tina and how she came into the bear. I did not like the facts, though. They got on my nerves a lot this season.
They got on your fucking nerves.
Yeah. Like they reminded me of like the two weird squirrel characters from Ice Age or something. They kept fighting over and over. I was like, what are we doing here?
Well, and you know what's crazy is Neil Fack, the main one, Matty Matheson, I want to say is his name. He's actually a professional chef.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that kind of fucks me up about this whole thing. But it is like now I feel like they want us to hate them though, because that's kind of like a running joke of, oh God, they're here. How many of them are there? And so I wonder if that's just a small plot device for us to just kind of distract us. Uh, I don't know. I'm conflicted because on the one hand, yes, I can't stand them because I'm also wondering, okay, where is this going? But then they have their charming moments, like when they're trying to help Carmy with Claire. I did think that was charming.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And I loved how Claire kept calling them my loves. It's like,
Like
yes, my loves. I got your multiple text messages and it was very sweet. I did like that part.
like Sugar, she says the same thing, and I think it's because she knows that they're simple folk. So
Yes. Um,
you
yeah.
talked about favorite characters. I gotta say, I watched the last episode just a little bit before we began this episode, and I gotta say, Joel McHale,
Yeah.
delivered. He fucking delivered. On the one hand, when I first saw him, I didn't recognize him, and that's a testament to what an underrated actor Joel McHale is. Like, I wish we saw more of him in this entire show, but the little bits that we did is, I think we got more of a chance to get to know him in this last episode, and just that communication between them, that final "ha, I'm gonna get you back," and he's just like, okay, you know what I mean? But then kind of tells him, "You're welcome. I did this for you." It reminded me a little bit of my own trauma with my own like former mentors, where they've given me nightmares. I've questioned whether or not I belonged in the field that I'm in, and but if it wasn't for them, I also wouldn't have been really good at what I do. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the confidence to be on this fucking podcast. And for me to go, you asshole, blah, blah, blah. And then for them to respond like, Okay, you know what I mean. But hey, look at you now. It's like the movie Whiplash.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've never seen Whiplash, but it did remind me a lot of myself, that sequence, because I've had situations in the past where someone has been kind of mentally abusive to me, and you think about or fantasize what you would say to that person if you ever saw him again. And if you do see him, it never comes out the way you plan it.
Yeah,
And Carmy kind of went into that where he was like, I don't know what to say after fuck you. And
yeah.
then, like, what Joel McHale's character said was, makes it sound like whatever he did was worth it in the end. As fucked up of a way as they arrived at that situation, Carmy is where he was because of tough love and being pushed to the limit.
And that is kind of like the fucked up part of art. Through great pain, through great suffering, one can create incredible art. Which is why we like Eminem so much. You know what
Yes.
I mean? There's a reason why people love Kendrick Lamar so much, because he has a voice, but you can only get that voice through dedication, through suffering. And, we don't wish this upon anybody, but you can't just become great overnight.
Yeah. It, like, this season of the show in particular, like, really makes you question, like, your legacy and what you leave on the world and how you respond to adversity. And I did like that. I did think that there were enough good things here to lead to our final rankings, Ahmed. I'll get mine out of the way first. I'm going to give it an all-star. I think I gave season 2 a Hall of Fame, but, like, what I said on Twitter is, this is the difference of getting like an A plus on a paper and an A. Like, it is solid here. There are some things that bothered me. It's not perfect, but this is still the best show on TV.
Agreed. Yeah, it's got to be the best show that has come out this year so far. Um, None of the other shows. I mean, of course, there's The Boys and Invincible, but I'm talking more on the fact that, like, when it comes to live action drama, that is so unique in that regard. It's kind of like getting Ted Lasso again.
Yeah, it definitely has like some Ted Lasso vibes here. I think we're gonna get one more season. I think we're gonna wrap things up. I just think that the cast is getting so famous now that it's gonna be hard to lock everybody into place for multiple seasons to come.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how the story of the bear continues. Anything else you want to add, though, Ahmed, before we get out of here?
The Hurry Up season 4. I mean, that's it. And Jeremy Allen White, subscribe to our podcast.
Yes. He's playing Bruce Springsteen next, which is such a crazy meteoric rise.
That is going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already so great in Iron Claw. He's going to kill this.
Yeah. Who knew Lip from Shameless would become so famous and an A-list actor? I love it. I love it a lot.
And a Calvin Klein model, underwear
Yeah.
model. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. I'm Jeff. That's my friend Ahmed. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon.